4 days on our visa for Panama.
We're going through next week. Next week! And hopefully it'll drop us off right at the door so we can kind of like furtively run in.
We don't have very accurate charts for this part of Panama.
I had fully intended to film that, and to be honest, I was just too terrified. I hate this feeling!
This is great.
We have never brought Indy up a river before.
Yeah, that's precision anchoring
We
101.
are so close to the shore.
Last time on Red Seas, we found some emergency accommodation in Panama City, which may not have had the greatest view, but at least it gave us a bed for the night. We finally got our visa paperwork accepted and set eyes on the Pacific Ocean for the very first time. We headed back across Panama to find Indy again, lifted anchor, and made our way into the marina for 24 hours to be measured for the canal. After waiting for 5 hours past our appointment time, I lifted Ian up the mast to get on with some repair jobs while I worked hard overseeing things from the deck. When all the boat work was finished, we enjoyed the view and waited a bit more for the official boat measurer to turn up. It turned out we had been forgotten about. But after more than a few phone calls, Antonio, our boat measurer, agreed to come back to the marina and fit us in at the end of the day. He explained the rules and regulations of transiting through the canal and instructed us to find 4 volunteers who could act as our line handlers so that Ian could concentrate on manning the helm and I would be free to film the experience. He then went through all the official paperwork to get us logged in the system.
This is yours, okay?
I'm going to lose
all
this.
the information regarding transit,
perfect.
okay?
I have so much to learn.
This is yours.
Oh, this is formal.
It's like your call sign.
Yeah,
Like your
yeah.
I'm a number here.
So we have to take a picture of the holding tanks because it's like against the rules if we were to flush while we're going through the canal. So the holding tank.
Very official.
I'm a professional photographer. Well, sort of.
It will take around 7 seconds, okay?
The most important thing was to have Indioko officially measured so that we could be paired up with other boats on the day of our transit.
Okay. I will measure the boat spread.
Sure, okay.
Is it flexible or you will keep like this?
If you wish, we can bring it up or we can leave down.
It's okay, it's okay.
Just to here?
Okay, very good. That's it. Good. Now let's go. Okay.
Okay.
Very good, huh? Very good, very good. Okay, that's it.
Wow, that was easy. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Bueno? No bueno.
I need your full name here.
Perfecto.
There are 4 ways sailboats can pass through the canal. Individually, tied to the wall, rafted next to a tug, or as part of a nest with another sailboat either side. Some options are more risky than others, so we had to choose which ones we'd be willing to accept.
So we're just filling in all of the forms here, and Ian's like getting really smart ass and trying to get the cost down, and he's like saying all these numbers as Antonio's trying to write down the cost, and then he wrote the wrong number by accident and accidentally put the price up by $600. So Ian, it's all your fault.
Backfiring badly. Okay, I'll stop talking. It's official.
Very good.
You're a rock star, man. Thank you so much. Seriously.
So, what's a pleasure? Take care.
No, that's great.
Thank you, thank
It's
you.
a pleasure.
That's it. It's official. We're
Going through.
going through, and it could be in like a couple of days. I was told weeks. I'm sure I was told
I
weeks.
know. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
It's kind of crazy. I don't understand how he measured the boat because he measured it in like 5 parts and then just started to make up numbers. But he said it'll fit. So what's
It's
the problem?
official.
It's happening. It's happening. All right. So the paperwork is all done. We have a huge wedge of extra bits of paper now. But more importantly, we have our registration number, which is a big deal because that means that Indioko is now in the Panama Canal system. Now, everything went on a bit late last night, and then we went for a bit of a walk just to celebrate, which means we have to get up at crack of dawn. It is way too early for me right now, but there is a free bus service that the marina put on here that take us into Cologne, into the main town here, and then we have to take a big wedge of cash to the bank. Cologne doesn't have the best of reputations for being safe, so this is going to be fun.
So Cologne is really not the place that you want to just be walking around, and apparently because everybody has to go to the bank there to pay in their $3,000 worth of cash, all the locals know that if any tourists are seen there walking around in Cologne, it's probably because they've got a lot of cash and they're heading to the bank. So yeah, really not the kind of place that we want to be wandering around. So we're going to grab a taxi. We're just in like the next door town here. So we're going to get a taxi and hopefully it'll drop us off right at the door so we can kind of like furtively run in.
Nothing could go wrong. Nothing could go wrong. Okay, so Brownie's just been let into the bank. It's only one person in at a time, so I get to kick around outside. I'll pretend to be security.
So that worked really well. Our taxi driver literally took us right to the front door of the bank, so we didn't have to feel too nervous. And then I was handing over the money and it was literally like a pile this much. So that's like $3,000, but we got it all from the ATM. So it all came out in 20s. And I forgot to get the photo of like, you know, fanning out the money and looking at all this money. I was just so nervous about getting it in without getting mugged. But that part is done. They have sort of sent in our receipt to the office of the Panama Canal. So later on we can phone up and hopefully they should tell us what date we can transit and we'll find out how long we need to wait until there. But scary part is done. Tick! On to the next thing. So we've moved out of the marina now, back into the anchorage, as rolly as it is out here. And I still cannot get over this view with the bridge right here that we are going to be sailing underneath in just a minute. Well, not a minute. We need to phone and find out when our transit date is, but it is now 6 o'clock and the lines have opened. So we're going to phone and find out right now.
This is it.
What if they say tomorrow? Would you go?
Yeah, I think I'd go. I think. What if they say, on review of your case, there is no space for a year?
Actually, it's double the price for you guys. We just worked out who you are.
Wait, multi-hull? And you guys have slight issues with hitting stuff. Yeah, this is going to be expensive.
I really hope that's not like 4 weeks away. I'm kind of done now. I want to go.
Kind of done.
Kind of done.
Panama's been like the best place we visited so far, but there's a whole second half of Panama we've not really seen yet. It's just over there.
I don't know. Maybe if we had a month, we would get to see like a whole nother bit of this side.
Yeah, there's definitely places we missed. Bocas.
Yeah.
Bocas del Toro.
Yeah. Okay.
But
I'll be happy with whatever they say then.
Jeez. Come on, let's do it.
Have I got the phone number right?
Who knows? Let's call.
I don't know if they even speak English.
And to Agnes. It's ringing.
Buenos días. ¿Hablas inglés?
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you. This is Bryony Cameron from SV Indioko. We just paid for our canal transit earlier today. I was wondering if you have a date for us.
You said that you already called for transit?
Yes.
Well, do you have any specific date, or do you want the first day available?
Just the first day available, please.
Yeah, we have some delays right now. I'm sorry
okay.
about that. But let's say it looks so far that March 11th, which will be the first day available.
March 11th. Okay. That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Oh, that was really stressful.
Whew. Well, mainly because you apparently can't speak English.
I apparently can't. He just kept on saying, "Are you something?" And I was like, "Are you German?" No, but why would he be asking that? I still have no idea what he's saying.
He was saying where he thought we were.
Yeah.
And a Germain or Germain or something. And I was like, that's not where we are.
So, 2 weeks tomorrow, but possibly going through in 1 day rather than 2, which is quite cool because it means it'll all be in daylight.
Most likely going through in 1 day instead of 2. Mm-hmm. It means you don't get to sleep at night in the lake, which is a bit of a shame.
But there sounded like there was some kind of like rally coming through the week after, so we need to like
next day.
sneak in right before then.
We're going to be the day before a Around the World rally turns up. So, I mean, they're going to go faster through the canal than we are, I suppose, because they're racing, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's intimidating. Mind you, that's going to be great because it means we can watch for their departure date.
Yeah, there you go. Use their weather window.
We have weather boys. They're all weather boys. We send them out, and if any of them sink, we know it's too soon. That's quite good, actually.
That's how we sail. All right.
So we
2
have
weeks.
2 weeks.
What are we going to do with it?
Okay, so after all the excitement last night of finally getting a date to go through the canal, we sat down and did some maths and worked out that that would leave 4 days on our visa for Panama, which is, we haven't broken the rules at that point, but we don't want to be under the time pressure to go. So we're going to jump on the phone now and see if we can persuade the scheduler to maybe shift our canal dates a little bit earlier. Just gives us a bit of space. Otherwise, we have to work out extending visas so that we don't overstay and get fined, and that could cause problems on passports in other countries if they think that we have a habit of outstaying our welcome. So yeah, fingers crossed.
We'll get into trouble at that side, so I just wondered if there was an earlier date that we could fit into.
They're just checking that.
Okay, we can try for March 3.
March the 3rd, that would be amazing.
Yeah, but just have in mind that you are the last one for that day.
Okay.
If anything happens, you
Yeah.
will be the first one to go out from that day.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's a massive help. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye now.
Bye.
Oh, this is so stressful.
Do you know what's hilarious is that he said the 3rd of March. I've got no idea what date it is today. So I don't know if that's like tomorrow or still a week away.
We should check
We
that.
should probably check that. All I know is it's less than the 11th.
We might have 8 days. Did I count that right?
I've got no idea. I was going to look at a calendar.
26, 27, 28,
No.
first, second, third.
6 days. We're going through next week. Next week!
It's happening. All right, so with that good news, we figure we have like 6 days. So we've read about an anchorage, which is a little bit further along the coast, called Rio Chagres. It's a river, and apparently, unlike the sun-kissed beaches of San Blas, this place is like going into the jungle. There's monkeys and crocodiles and all sorts of cool stuff. Can be a little bit sketchy on the way in because you're going from the saltwater waves into a freshwater river, and apparently some reefs and stuff around. But I don't know, we'll figure it out when we get there. Well, this is fun.
Phew, we made it out past the breakwater. I'm so sorry. I had fully intended to film that. And to be honest, I was just too terrified. The waves here, I know they never look that big on camera, but you can see how much we're rolling around. There are whitecaps everywhere. The period is super short, so we would go up a really steep wave and then just nosedive into the next one and it would crash over the trampolines. We're heading straight into the waves and then had to turn sideways through them and just sort of pick our window right so that we didn't just get rolled. So we've made the turn and now we're going to throw a Genoa out, and I think that will help us to calm down a little bit and enjoy the sail now that we're going downwind. Still huge swell, but when you're going with it, it's never quite as bad. So, time to calm down. We've just been sailing along the coast really peacefully, about 5 or 6 knots, and we've just put the Genoa away, and now comes the tricky bit. How are you feeling about this?
Oh, the 65%. No, it's fine. So we don't have very accurate charts for this part of Panama, and we do know that there's quite a narrow entrance with like underwater reefs that are just underwater, but you might not see them, and we're being pushed along at 7 knots.
Yeah, it's the surfing down waves that makes me nervous.
It makes it very hard to predict your speed and be able to slow the boat and steer at the same time. So we might be doing this like quick is smooth. What's the like quick is smooth, smooth is good or something? I don't know what people say, but it feels like that. Going quick.
Fast is
will make
smooth
it
and smooth is steady. Who knows? Something is something else and we'll get through.
Fast is good and good is yummy. Great day to go in. Later we found out from friends that this was one of the worst times to enter, and as we turned the corner, the waves picked up and we were basically surfing straight to the beach. Well, to the cliffs.
Okay, you can hear how windy it is. We've got like cliffs on this side and then you can see the breaking reef the other side, and we have to like aim at the cliff and then turn last second to go through the narrow gap. I hate this feeling!
This is great. I mean, we're fine. We're in 3.5 meters of water and it's shallowing rapidly, and I'm aiming at a cliff.
What could go
Fine.
wrong?
We're only going at 5 knots, it's fine.
Look how close we are getting. I can almost touch these breaking waves. I mean, I've come up to the front to sort of keep an eye on things, but I have absolutely no idea what I could possibly do. If we're aiming towards a reef, I'm not going to be able to stop the boat. I'm just going to know about it slightly sooner. I don't know if that's better or worse to know about it and not be able to do anything.
That has just gone under 3 meters. Oh, 2 meters. A bit tight.
Is this the narrowest part?
Yeah. We just hit 2.5 meters. Actually, we just hit 2 meters.
I'm not enjoying the use of the word hit.
Sorry. Met? Greeted?
Greeted, there we go.
We greeted 2 meters. And I am greeting, which is a Scottish phrase for crying. It's fine, it's all on the inside. Whoa, big proper breaking surf waves. A little bit close.
That looks so close!
Just a little bit.
I can almost touch it.
Double dare you.
And we made it through! And look how calm it is here in the river. It's like gone from huge surfy rolly waves down to like super protected. So we still need to kind of wiggle our way through a chicane here, but at least everything's calmer, so we should have a little bit more control. She says, hopefully. So weird. We have never brought Indy up a river before, and I just don't quite know what to expect. I'm like, oh, we're used to like big open spaces with wide, empty anchorages on tiny little islands, and suddenly there's things on either side of us and loads of trees and birds swooping around, and it's really pretty and calm and lovely, but surreal and quiet. I'm not quite sure what I make of it yet.
This is weird, isn't it? Like, we turned the corner from open sea and swell, and now it's basically just solid jungle.
Yeah.
Not sure where the nearest civilization is, other than a 16th, 17th century fort.
I'm not sure if we can call that civilization.
It was civilized once. But yeah, so there's supposed to be like monkeys and crocodiles and
Woohoo!
birds and I don't know what else. But probably all watching us right now, they're like, what are you doing here? Get out.
Yeah, I know.
You're not welcome.
So what's the plan?
Well, I mean, now it's just a case of keeping water on the horizon. We keep seeing not dead ends, but elbows in the river.
So
yeah, we're just going to keep heading up the river until the water becomes more fresh, I guess, and see if the jungle just closes in.
Eats us.
So I haven't really said it yet, but the reason this river actually exists is at the very top of it, there's a dam, which is called the Gatun Dam.
Sure, let's call it that.
History by Red Seas. And basically, the dam is there because it provides all of the power needed for the locks for the Panama Canal. So they built the dam to create a hydro generation which powers the lock system, and that created this river, as far as we can tell.
So basically, if we sneak around this way, we can sneak past the locks without paying.
And we climb 85 feet or something. So if we wish to, portage,
yeah.
Portage? We're going to portage Indy up a hill.
I'm up for giving it a go.
I think the hill, given it's a dam, I think the hill's going to be quite a steep incline. This is how you know velociraptors still exist. Seen any parrots yet?
Not yet. I can definitely hear some squeaking and squawking. My bird knowledge is not very efficient.
Oh,
My mom is not going to be impressed.
I was about to say, your mom is like the bird queen. So when Brainy's mom came out, she brought with her a book like this size. It was this, as in this thick. And it was literally jammed full of various...
It was just birds of Panama. It wasn't even like birds in general.
Yeah,
it was
apparently
like
there's
super
a lot
specific.
here. Exactly.
So, yeah. Parrots and toucans are on my list for this week. That's what I want to
Parrots
see.
and toucans. And do you know the Latin name for this?
Yes, we can just like dub it over the top. The Latin name for a toucan is... Oh my goodness.
I'm feeling quite smug. Yeah, that's precision anchoring
We are
101.
so close to the shore.
Yeah, but we're under backing down right now. That's the anchor set, and we have, what, 20 feet, if that?
Oh, I've got no idea how many feet it is. It's about 8 meters.
8 meters. It's a bit less than 8 meters, otherwise I'm getting out of it. But yeah, it's not far, and just close enough that Marcel from Friends could jump onto the boat. That's my
Oh,
theory.
there we go. It's a great landing point for all the monkeys. And how deep are we here?
9.6 meters.
That's crazy!
Yeah, I mean, that's the front of the boat. The back of the boat could be grounded, who knows? Now we just need to find the crocodilias.
So we've anchored on this bend in the river, and there's a couple of little tributaries that we can go and explore, and there is actually another monohull coming in, so we're just going to wait and see if we have neighbours or if they're kind and if they go off to the next corner and give us a bit of space. But either way, this is a pretty cool place to wait out for our canal transit.
And the most important part of all is when we press these two little buttons and turn these keys.
It's so quiet.
All right, I guess we'll have more to show then. Let's go somewhere new.
Let's go do some stuff.
All right.